Now, they do this because they are afraid that it's not going to hit the full take profit.
Groups, chats, everything. And 99% of that is definitely scam. You just join, you pay, and then you get nothing.
We're not just some Telegram group. We are real people. And you believe in this. I believe in this. Nadim believes in this. The whole team believes in it.
We're just being honest here.
Yeah, we're being honest.
This is what I like.
Welcome back to another episode of TradeVibe the Podcast. I'm your host, Jakob and today I've decided to put someone from the team on the show. His name is Nik, and he is the guy who is running the marketing and the camera today. And usually, like I said, he's in the background making sure everything works perfectly. But today I've put him on the spot. So Nik, welcome to the podcast.
Hey guys, nice to be here.
It's good to have you here. So we flew Nik in from Eastern Europe today to be here on the podcast. And also, like I said, to help me make sure that this podcast is getting off nicely from the beginning. So this episode is going to be a little bit different than what we will probably be doing in the future as well. As you guys know, this is a trading related podcast. And today we might be talking a little bit about the vision of TradeVibe, more in depth with that, and also maybe get in a little bit into who I am as a trader. I'm sure Nik, he has some questions filled up.
Sure.
And we'll also talk a little bit about Nik and what his strategies are and what he's going to be doing for TradeVibe. So yeah, Nik, why don't you just go out and tell a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I've been in marketing space for almost 6 years now, since 2017 or 18. Yeah, I've done lots of things, as you've mentioned, from production to funnels and ads and everything. It's been a long journey, and now the concentration of my knowledge is here to help us to boost TradeVibe and help us establish it as an honest and reliable community. So I'm looking forward to
Awesome,
do it.
yeah. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring Nik on the whole team to begin with is, as I've mentioned in the podcast with Nadim, is I'm looking to get some really, really good and hardworking, reliable people on TradeVibe to make it a good, successful community, but also because Nik has very much attention to details. And actually, when you and I started talking, I was asking you, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? And instead of doing that, you basically told me what you could do for TradeVibe, which no one else did when they were applying for your position. They were just telling what they usually have done in the past to like their resume, but you were telling me what could be done and what should be done with TradeVibe. And I liked that right away. And therefore, yeah, you are on the team because of that. So, and also because of your resume, you have been incredible in such a short amount of time. I mean, you're only 20 years old.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And I'm like 29. Like when I was 20, I had barely started out in Forex, didn't know what I was doing. And yeah, you already figured it out. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And now you're part of this organization / community. And yeah, now we're just here to get it rolling.
Sure. This is like a part of my approach. I have never done anything that is against my, say, internal policy or my interests. So when I first saw your video about this whole idea, I just saw some future in it, and I liked because I have a story about my experience with all this trading stuff. So I started with binary options, and I spent like $10 to test it out, and then I got to $50, but then I just lost it all. And never came back, actually.
Never came back.
Yeah. But, time passed, and I saw some potential in investments, and now I'm more about buying stocks in the long term. But, this whole thing with finance, with trading, binary trading, whatever, I think it's quite popular today, and lots of people are getting in. And I think it's the right thing for people to join some communities and groups to get into the right flow and do the right stuff instead of just losing money and
Yeah, by yourself, right?
Yeah, and making their own mistakes.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to stick to some kind of group and move to your goals together. Yeah, I've done this with marketing and almost like everything I've been enjoying in my life. So it's the easiest way actually to find someone or a group of people and just be inside of this group. This is the best way for me, and I guess for everyone else.
For sure, yeah. I mean, that's what TradeVibe is all about. What I think most communities are all about is that companionship and sticking together with like-minded people that are all like focusing and working on the same goal. And that's something that I wish I had more of when I started out trading all those years ago. I started out trading in December 2014. It's been almost like 10 years at this point, like 9 years in. And something I really wish that I had more of when I started out trading was a group of people or a community where you can get driven by each other and like get uplifted and all those things that comes with it. So funny story about the whole binary option. I also started out in binary option back in 2014-15 and quickly moved away from that. Went into Forex and went into that space with where I met buddies like Nadim and Matt, who Nadim already been on the show, and Matt we're going to be having on eventually down the line. And it's just crazy because binary option, for those who have seen it, I don't know if it exists anymore, to be honest, but it was a gamble compared to what Forex and stock trading and crypto trading is today. And you are in a great position in 2023 to actually earn a nice income from trading because you have a lot more opportunities and tools and communities that I didn't have when I first started out. It was a wild west back when I started out, and you just had to learn it the hard way. And it's just not easy compared to today. And that's also what you're talking about, is that this is now a good time to be part of something like this.
That's what I wanted to highlight. Like, sure, there are so many opportunities today. You can join so many trends, and new cryptos are appearing there every day, I think, or every hour. So many things out there, and what I think is that people can kind of miss something in that space. Again, it's such a great opportunity for everyone.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. So you've mentioned that you were part of some similar community previously, right? Where you met Nadim and Matt.
And
right?
Matt, yeah.
Yeah. So what was like this thing that you appreciated the most there? Like, was it people or maybe knowledge or
direction?
Direction.
First, of course, the people. Yeah, shout out Nadim, shout out Matt. It was the people for sure that help, but also the guidance from we were paying to be in this room, so there's obviously some kind of knowledge presented in this room that you were following and you were learning from, and that was important to me, but it wasn't enough at that time, because even like the guy who was running that community, he wasn't good, and he was believing this philosophy about technical indicators that me and anyone that I know take trading serious, they don't rely on. And so it was a foolish way of thinking how to trade, and therefore we grew out of that trading community, me, Matt, Nadim, and we just stuck to each other and like peanut butter jelly, I guess. And we were just like fighting our own way with technical analysis and things like that since the early 2016 days. But yeah, so we started this trading room. I actually I convinced Matt to join the trading room where me and Nadim already were part of, and we were there for 7-8 months, which, I mean, we learned a lot from this community, a lot of things that I'm sure I wouldn't be here where I am today if it weren't for that. But it was a stepping stone. It was never like, we were never supposed to take off and become well off financially from this trading community.
Sure.
It was never anything like that. But ever since I joined that room, I always have had that urge to create my own.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been so busy with life and the lifestyle that trading can offer that I just haven't been able to get myself to do it until now. And I have actually, like today, it's December 2023. When you're watching this podcast, whoever you are, we probably haven't even launched the room yet. I mean, the trading community. It will probably be very shortly after you're seeing this. But I actually started trying to make TradeVibe all the way back in 2021. I bought the domain TradeVibe.com back in, I believe, late 2021, and I bought it for like several $1,000s because it was apparently like a nice name, a ring to it. It's a short name and it just sounds good, in my opinion at least.
Yeah.
And so I bought it a long time ago, and I stick to it obviously. And I, at some point, I was like, okay, I got to do this now. Like, it's now or never. I'm approaching 30 years old, and I still haven't done it. And I feel like I need to do more with my life than just trading and make money by myself, because that's what trading mostly is about. It's like there's institutions, there's the banks, there's the retail traders. That's like the money pool. And whenever I make money, someone else loses. The majority of who loses are the banks, because they are the bigger fish in the sea. So they're the one that losing their money, but they won't even feel it when I'm making mine. But sometimes it is also the retail trader, and when that happens, they lose money, I make money, and it's such there's no like service. You're not providing any good in life besides providing for yourself, your family, and whoever comes along. But after years of doing that, it kind of feels empty, and you kind of want to do more. And that's also why buddies like Nadim, who was on, has his own trading community, and why he's joining TradeVibe is to do more. Philanthropy usually comes from entrepreneurs that are getting tired of just making money. Yeah. And I'm nowhere near like a billionaire or anything like that, but I do well. And now I've been trading for so many years, been well off. And I just, at this point, I'm seeing like I need to do more. I need to help, and money from helping these people is not the motivation. Sure, it's part of the success, because nothing is free in life, but it's not going to be my driven power. I'm not going to be driven by money from TradeVibe. It's going to be seeing how we can grow as a community, and I'm also wanting to be innovative with products and building the brand and make sure it doesn't stop just because we are getting going. And I think a good proof to that is that we've already spent thousands of dollars on pre-production. We bought a set that we're sitting in right now in my basement, in my own home, but still a set. Cost like $12,000 or something like that worth of equipment. And we're not bragging about these numbers to show, we got money to spend. We're basically just telling it because we are not like any other trading community out there, because most people are just on Telegram having some rented Lamborghinis and like showing off a lifestyle that they want you to believe in. And that's usually what makes you join their communities, where we want to be different. And we are different by already spending so much money and energy and time into this. And that's also why I thought it was important to put you on the show today, because you are actually like a true, real worker of TradeVibe. And you believe in this. I believe in this. Nadim believes in this. The whole team believes in it. So, I mean, we are real people. We're not just some Telegram group. We have a actual community, website, app on the way from, an app store. You can download it very soon in the app store. You can watch this podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube. Yeah. I mean, it's a legitimate business.
Exactly.
So,
You've brought up a good point. That's what I wanted to ask. There are so many different groups, chats, everything. And 99% of that is definitely scam. You just join, you pay, and then you get nothing. Here, everything is so transparent, and we're all so honest with each other and with our audience. So the question is, what do you think is the point? Like, how to distinguish a scam in this space, right? How to have a clue what's a bad project and what's a community you should join?
Yeah. Well, one thing that you cannot use to determine whether it's a scam is the amount of people in the group. That can usually fool you. So you can't look at, say, this group has 10,000 people, therefore it must be legit. That's not the occasion anymore, because people can buy followers, they can do this and this and that. The only thing that matters is that the people who are running the group are like transparent and show themselves and like engage with the community, and that the community is actually able to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Because if the community is closed off in some Telegram broadcast and they can't communicate, then people won't be able to spread bad words about you if you are not legit, right?
Yep.
So that's why it's super important to find a community where there's chats, there's reviews, there's results. Results are the most important factor. If you just see like a note on an iPhone with like, this date we had these trades, and then you have like a green check mark, like anyone can do that. You need actual results. And so speaking of results, I know that you and I, we've been working very hard on figuring out a way to showcase results the best way possible, and we're going to be doing it in many different ways. Should we talk about that?
I think so.
All right. So we have 2 developers on the team right now. We have a lead developer, and then we have someone from the agency that we are working with that are also making the website right now. And so what we plan to do is we have a section on our page where it will automatically update the results and the live trades that are going on currently. And the way it works is that we have a feed from MetaTrader 5 or 4, depending on which platform we're going to be using. But every time we open a trade, it's going to be sent directly to our website or our app on the App Store, or even a live feed. We have a live stream going on in Discord where you can always see our past results and our current trades open. And that's something you can access from tradevibe.com/results as well. And so we are working with API connections, and we've been working for many weeks to make sure that this works perfectly. And we're working with a third-party broker that are presenting data for us so that we can also go into past trades. We can open them up, and we can see a graph of when we entered, when we left, everything, every detail about the trade, so that you can analyze every single trade that we have taken. So that is definitely something that will differentiate us in the market from anyone else, because like I said, most people won't even show their results. Now, we are not only showing our results, we're doing it in as great a fashion you can, I would say.
In a live mode.
Right, in the live mode, yeah. The live mode is it's definitely I would say maybe overdoing it a little bit, but at the same time, we don't have a name for ourselves right now, and I think the best way and the easiest way to get a name for yourself is just like being fully on transparent with everything you got.
Exactly. This is the right strategy today, because it's so well, sometimes it's kind of difficult to spot a scam project, but because of that, because it's sometimes difficult to spot it, people are more particular, and like they're watching many different groups and stuff, and we all get lots of ads, and this filter we get is growing, I guess. Like we're not considering many options because they seem to be a scam, and this is the right way, just to be honest, and probably it's the only right thing.
And you have to also, like, you can be in many communities, you can join many, and you can be part of many without a problem. And you can also, if you're taking trade ideas from other communities, you can do that as well. But everything you just have to keep in mind every time you're joining a new community is just the transparency. If there is no transparency, or if there's little to no transparency, then it's usually too good to be true. And if there's no communication between the owners or staff and the consumer, or the user, then it's just someone trying to milk something. So
Sure. So another question I have for you, it's always a point to debate whether the product should be free or not free. So what do you think? Why people should pay for it?
So no one pays us any money. In that sense, joining us is 100% free. And it will always be that way. We will not use any hidden fees, or, you've now been here for 6 months, you have to now pay us. There are some groups out there where you have to pay monthly in order to be part of it. We don't believe in that model. What we instead tend to do is I have people that are working for me. They also need a salary, and I need a salary because we're spending a lot of hours in this. So the structure, the business model that we are picking up on is a very known business model by now, by a lot of scammers, unfortunately, but
Mhm.
it can be used by actual decent communities, and we
Yeah.
tend to be one of those. So the strategy is that we are sponsored by a broker, and the only thing you have to do is just make sure you sign up with them. When you're trading with us and from us, you are just using that broker that we recommended, and it's a good one. It's a regulated broker. It has good spread, good commissions, fast payouts, and you can always take out your money. You don't have to like leave the money in if you don't want to. You can easily take it out, and
Yeah.
there's no strings attached. And I believe that's the easiest and the best way for anyone who want to be part of anything, because yeah, nothing is free. But if you want to join TradeVibe, it is free, because I mean, yeah, sure, you have to put money into a broker, but if you want to trade, you have to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So why not just use it through our sponsored broker and then be part of a community that won't ever charge you?
Yeah, it's a win-win, I guess.
It's a win-win, yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise people will still spend their money and I mean like deposit them to the account, but now they're getting this advantage of having like-minded people with them, like us, and experts who can recommend them something.
Exactly.
It's
And
really good.
and if there's something I've learned is that there are some communities out there that will charge you like $350 a month, or you can get like a lifetime for like $4,000.
Mhm.
The only issue is that most people that starts out, they only have maybe like $500 to $1,000. They're going to be very picky. If they have to pay someone $400 a month to be part of a community, they don't have money to then invest. So it's not doable. It's
Yep.
not doable at all. And we don't want to be part of that at all. We don't want to earn on you forever just because you're happy to be in a community. If you want to stay here, then we don't want to take you money from being in a community. Sure,
Mhm.
you can become part of it by doing this small thing, but I mean, it's a win-win.
Yeah, while we were brainstorming, you mentioned one thing, and I want you to elaborate on this. So you said that many group chats, they're just providing some trades, like trade ideas, and you want to make it different in different way. You want to teach people, like provide some knowledge that is kind of like the basement of their future trading career. So what do you think about this?
So I have something I want to say, and some people would probably be angry for me to say this, but most trading communities, even the good ones that are actually not like scamming people, they have something called TP1, TP2, TP3. TP means take profit. That means that there are milestones in your entry, from your entry to your exit. There are different takes where you are leaving the trade. You're taking a partial of your trade. Now, they do this because they are afraid that it's not going to hit the full take profit. And so in order for the members to be somewhat happy, they are doing a checkpoint within that trade in order to make sure that they at least got something so that it doesn't end in a loss. And it's a dirty trick. You're not going to earn that much money from it, but it's a dirty trick, and they will use and say, let's say you had a trade and the full take profit is 50 pips, and they want you to do milestones or checkpoints, if you will, along the way. Well, if you want to still let the trade run, you have to take a partial of that trade off in order to take the first checkpoint. So if you are opening a trade with one lot and you have one checkpoint at 25 pips, you are basically closing half of your trade. And then now you're letting the rest run if it runs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just terrible risk to reward, because you're halving your trade into a smaller position in order to take earlier profit. And it's something they almost all do. And that's something we're not going to do. We might take partials sometimes because we'd be like, yo, the market is a little bit edgy right now. We rather want to take some partials and let the rest run. But we're not going to be systematically doing it from the moment we open the trade, which so many are doing. And I'm sorry for calling out some. I'm not naming any brands or any communities, but I just know that there's so many that are doing it.
Yeah.
And it's,
again, we're just being honest here.
Yeah, we're being honest.
This is what I like.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like Nadim, he was on the other day, and I'm sure he would agree. I'm sure he would agree that it's a bad way of educating people, because yeah, sure, they might get some pips, but your pips that you are getting are maybe 1/3 worth of what they should have been, because the community wanted to close or do a stepping stone checkpoint, if you will, to make sure that they have some results to show their result page. It's not okay, man.
Yeah, I think many people are wondering, like, what's the career of a trader, right? So you start as a newbie, you're making your first trades, getting your first pips or whatever. What's next? What's the next chapter?
Are you talking about a day in the life of trader, or like a part 1, 2, and 3 from when you start trading?
I would say more about the part 1, part 2. Like, what's like, what can a trader do to, I don't know, earn
Who's just
more?
starting out?
Yeah, after starting out.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what's next?
Yeah. What I really like, and there's 2 types of people, or maybe 3 types of people that are going to be joining TradeVibe. One is going to just listen to our trade ideas and take them with us and profit from that. And that's going to be it. They're going to be doing it for a few years. Then they might stop trading after that, and they'll never look back, and they might have made some money, and they'll be happy with it. The other type is going to do what the first type did, but also at the same time learn while they do it. So they can make some money while they learn. The third type is just going to join TradeVibe and learn, and then take off from there. So we'll go with the type 2 and type 3 and talk a little bit about them instead of the type 1, which there's nothing wrong if you want to be type 1 and only take trades and then be gone in a few years. That's fine if you want to do that. It's all good. Everyone have their reasons for why they want to make some money right now and here. But type 2 and type 3 can be part of the community for good. They can just stay there, learn, participate, see, grow, see the products, the innovation, everything that we're going to be doing. Or they can excel into other businesses like crypto, like stocks. It's something that we are going to be doing as well. It's something that, as we talked about in the previous podcast, Nadim is going to be focusing on crypto to educate and help people earn some money through crypto, because that's here to stay as well. And stocks are here to stay as well. Stocks might be a better idea for people long term. So when it comes to like part 1, 2, and 3, well, you can stay in part 1 for a very long time, and you can stay and you can go to part 2 and you can be there for a long time. Or you can literally like skip all those and just go straight into other ventures once you're like done some type of money and trades. But yeah, I mean, does that answer your question? Or
you were talking about some like company stuff that you can trade for a company before. Maybe you could say something about
prop
this.
firms?
Yeah,
prop firms.
exactly.
Prop firms are here to stay for sure. Well, it's like prop firms are like cryptos. Like, you don't know which kind of cryptos will be here long term. Same thing with prop firms. If you don't know what a prop firm is, I can give you a very, very short version. I think this is something we're going to be addressing more in the free course that we're going to be doing with the prop firm section. But a prop firm is basically a company that will run challenges for you. You will buy a challenge from them, and different challenges cost different money depending on how big the challenge or the trading sum you can trade at the end. So let's say like a $200,000 challenge. That will probably cost you about $1,000. And if you complete it, you're going to have capital worth of $200,000. But the catch is that you're going to have to complete like a 10% return of investment in a certain amount of time. And you need to have a certain amount of drawdown. You have to stay below that. If you don't know what a drawdown is, then drawdown is basically your risk overall.
And just watch our free course.
You can watch our free course and you will learn more about that as well. But yeah, so if you basically complete the challenge, which can be a challenge, but you can do it, and you could probably do it with some of our trading ideas as well. Once you then get through the system and you get your funded account, then you will have buying power of $200,000 in this case, and that means that any profit that you're going to be making from this prop firm, you will be getting a percentage of that. Usually it's 80% to the trader and 20% to the prop firm, depending on whatever prop firm you're at. But basically, that's a good way of also earning extra money, because many people don't have $200,000 to start out with. So it's a good way to do that. It's something that wasn't here when I started out, and it's something I wish was here, because it's definitely going to help a lot of people, and it has helped a lot of people. So yeah, it's something we will be talking about in the TradeVibe community, because we're not just going to tell you to only trade with our sponsored broker, although our sponsored broker will probably hate us for saying that, but then they can just quit the partnership. We'll find another one, because we obviously want to tell you what you actually want to hear and need to hear. Not only what you want to hear, but also need to hear. And that is, do both. Make sure you have trading capital at your own disposal, and then also make sure you have a at a prop firm.
Yeah.
Because why not? Why not just keep more eggs in different baskets?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to keep all the eggs in one basket. And yeah, so we're gonna be talking more about prop firms in the community and in the course. We won't be focusing as much on prop firms in the beginning, because what's super important to me is that all the new ones that are joining understand how to trade. I see it too often that there are trading communities that try to teach you just how to click buy and sell, because that's what they want you to do. There is another trading secret that I will probably get smoked from saying, maybe we'll see. But there are some trading communities that are focusing on you buying a certain amount of lots. And again, lots, if you don't know what that is, a lot is basically buying power. And there's a certain amount of lots that a newbie with a new broker sign up has to trade in order for that community that's running it will make money from it. And they're pushing the new members to buy, to open as big trades as possible, so that they can reach those lot sizes as fast as possible, so they can make money from that new member. We're not going to be doing that either. We're going to be focusing on risk, and we want to have we want to be honest about, like, the ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not going to be focusing on that. But with that being said, like, we make a lot. We make a lot of money here, me and some of my trading friends, and we're doing good, and it comes from trading, and it's possible for you as well. You don't have to start out with $1 million in order to do this. It's not going to be like, I'm not going to be sitting here and telling you you're going to become a millionaire by tomorrow, but you could probably become a millionaire by the end of next year if you dedicate it. For sure, it's possible. It's definitely possible, especially with prop firms, especially with the right amount of education and the right amount of trade ideas from TradeVibe.
Yeah.
You can do it. Now, this podcast, by the way, is not only intentions to promote TradeVibe, but since TradeVibe is new and we're just starting out this podcast, that's why we're talking so much about it right now.
Yeah. So what many people are going to be expecting is like many trades every hour, every 5 minutes, like lots of trades. Probably, I'm not sure, but I think they could. So I have a friend, and she's new to crypto. And she recently told me one lesson she learned, that she was trying to, trade every day, like place like 5 or 10 trades, I don't know. And one day she lost all of her money just because the market was like flat, nothing was really happening, and she just bought something bad. So my question is, why do you think it's not that important to trade like every some period of time, but instead finding those like chances and opportunities for people? How does it work?
Yeah, you can't force the market. You have to let the market come to you. And it's the ugly truth that many people don't want to hear, because they want to see trading opportunities every minute, every hour of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, the way that our society with trading works today is that, especially in these communities, they want to see like 3, 4, 5 trades a day. They just don't realize that trading 5 times a day will expose yourself for more risk, meaning that, yeah, sure, days that it's good, you're going to be making a lot of money, but like days that are bad, you're going to probably lose a lot of money. So at the end of the month, it's probably better to do 1 trade a day than do 5, because you're probably going to be ending up the same result anyway. Or you might even be ending up with better result by just doing that 1 trade only, we will strive to present the most opportunities in trading with TradeVibe, for sure. Mm-hmm. Because if we are seeking your attention, then we also have to live up to it. And that's something we understand, and we're going to be motivated to keep our word in. But I'm still a firm believer, and I know my team is as well, that you need to let the market come to you and execute. Sometimes you're going to be making 10 times the amount of money by waiting than pushing in early. You might get worse entries if you start too early, if you can't sit on your hands long enough. And that's what differentiate us professional traders from the rest. Yeah. So we have the patience and the emotions in check. And you just don't have that when you just start out. It's impossible. You can't. Like, you can't. If you could, then we would all be profitable, and we're not. Like, we're only like a very small percentage that are profitable, and we know why we are profitable. It's because we're patient, and we understand risk management. We understand how to work around our accounts, and we understand the trading behind it, the analysis, the fundamentals, the technicals, everything that goes within.
Yeah, I think trading is a place where you should let your emotions go, right?
Yeah, you can't have too many emotions when you're trading, because having emotions will just not make you able to think clearly. And when you're not thinking clearly, you're not making good decisions. It's the same thing with gambling. If you're gambling money that you can't afford to lose, which goes for trading as well. Don't trade too much if you can't afford to lose it. You have to accept that the money you're trading is money that you could lose.
Yeah.
Once you accept that and you're okay with that, that's when you can make much better decisions.
Exactly. So what's your mission towards this whole TradeVibe, like long-term mission? What do you want to accomplish by this?
Good question. So like I said before, we have a drive to help, and just like philanthropies, we want to educate and provide a product. And as we said in the beginning, we've already spent so much money in pre-production with this entire setup. We're not stopping just because we get success. We are going to innovate, and we are motivated every day of the year to keep on going, because we have a really, really good team around us that's only going to get bigger. And we're all like hungry for the innovation. So we're going to focus on products. I don't want to talk too much about everything, but I can give something away. Like I said, we have an app in production right now that's going to be available in the App Store on the Android as well. We're going to start out with the mobile only, and then we'll see where we go from there, depending on the demand and success and everything. What you're going to get on that is basically the community as well, and education and analytics for you to understand your trades and understand your upcoming trades and understand our trades. Once the app launches, we will have a license to basically operate in that field, because in the beginning you have to kind of go like, this is not financial advice, we're just sharing our trading ideas. You can take it if you want, but we can't say buy now, because we don't have the license. Not many do, and you don't need it. You don't need the license, but if you want to have an app where we basically send out trade knowledge, and it's kind of an advice, there's an intention with it. So, but once we have that, the app will launch, and you're going to have those features. Besides that, I want to make expert advisors, which is basically like trading robots that are not supposed to trade for you, but like help you trade. And depending on how successful that becomes, maybe we can one day make a trading robot that can provide some decent, steady amount of income every single year. We'll see. But besides that, I have ambition of making physical products as well. Something like, Magic Keys. It's kind of like a trading instrument that you can have next to your keyboard. It's super cool. Shout out to Magic Keys. I have one myself. I use it every day. It's really good for risk management, and I want to make something like that as well. I'm super motivated to make something like that. And we have some ideas that I don't want to talk about right now, because I don't want to give it away too early, and I also don't want people to steal the ideas. So we'll talk about that in the future. But we are very motivated to make this a great success, for sure. And if there's any time in the future, like in years, and if I'm not motivated by that anymore, we'll find someone who is. Then it's not, TradeVibe is not about me only. TradeVibe is a community that can be containing many traders, not just me, not just Nadim or whoever is going to be on. It's a product. It's a brand.
I see it as a reliable ecosystem of knowledge, of communication and people, right, and products, surely. That just helps everyone to grow in every aspect of their life in terms of finance.
Yeah, for sure. And some of our heavy inspirations are applications like TradingView. It's an application that every trader uses. It's been around since probably 2014, and they're basically like putting the bar very, very high for anyone who wants to make a trading product. So you kind of know where you have to be in order to compete in this space. And yeah, we have some ideas that are involving similar things to TradingView, but also tools that maybe haven't been seen before. I'm really, really looking into trying to make things that we haven't seen. Starting out with the website, making a website that has API integrations with a broker and our trading panel.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, like no one has it. No one has it. We even have the team having to sign non-disclosure agreements to not be able to talk about this, the codes and everything. You can't share anything because this is new. Yeah. No one has this. And so talking about the APIs, there's something I want to talk about is on the Discord channel. You are getting, so the trade ideas that we are sharing with our community will also happen instantly on Discord as well. So whenever we open a trade on MetaTrader 4 or 5 or whatever platform we're using, NinjaTrader, I'm not sure which one we're going to be using, probably MetaTrader 5. But when we're doing that, people will automatically get a message instantly, split second on Discord. We're not typing in like all these other guys are doing, editing the message and do all these things. It comes directly. Every time we move the take profit, and new information will be delivered to Discord or the website or the app. And every time we move the stop loss, whenever we do something about that trade we just opened, or even if it's an order, a pending order, you will be notified. It can't be tampered with. It will always be what it is in the trading terminal. And when you close the trade, it will show you that it's closed, and the history will be basically followed by it as well. And not many people are bold enough to do that, but we are.
Yeah.
So nothing will be deleted. Nothing will be hidden. Full transparency.
Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, we pretty much covered from A to Z. And we have a lot of work ahead of us before we launch.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're here now in Copenhagen. Nadim also is in Copenhagen. We're probably going to be working a lot, but also go out, maybe have a good time as well and see Copenhagen a little bit before going on Christmas break. That's also what I really love about this podcast already, even though we haven't even aired it. I love how we can talk about the production and like what's happening and like the size of our team as it is right now. We have no revenue. We have no members, no nothing. We're like a team of 7 people, I believe.
Yeah.
And everyone are working, like I was calculating this. I think everyone, including me, we're working a combined of about 45 hours a day. And when I was like thinking about doing TradeVibe by myself, I was working maybe 8 hours a day. And now we are working 45 hours a day combined on a product. Why is that so funny? Is it because our cameraman is sleeping? Yeah.
Just had an idea.
So our cameraman.
We can wake him up. With your
so our cameraman is sleeping. We're sitting here recording this by ourselves. But yeah, no, it's been fun so far recording, and we're having a good time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep making episodes. If anyone watching this have any suggestions, you can make it in the comments. We will receive negative and positive, all with love, and we'll appreciate everyone that will share an input. If you don't like us, that's fine. If you love us, awesome. If you want to join TradeVibe, feel free. If not, all good. It's all good. We welcome and appreciate every one of you. So
also would appreciate if you guys could share our podcast and our community to your friends. If you're interested in trading, it would be even better for you to have someone who you closely know to have with you. So yeah,
all right. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for listening, viewing, and hopefully you're going to be subscribing. We will catch you in the next one. Peace.